The beginning of Season 8 is less than 2 months away, so if you want the latest content, make sure to subscribe because there's plenty of content on its way. If you enjoy this video or it helped you in any way, give it a like, and if there's anything you feel that I can improve on, give me some feedback in the comments below. Hey guys, Zoose here. So with ALISTAR, you want to go in the resolve path, and you want to take AFTERSHOCK. This is a really high damaging keystone that scales with your HP, and since ALISTAR builds a lot of HP, this is perfect for him. Not only do you get a nice amount of damage, it scales slowly, and since he has 2 abilities, actually 3, that will proc this, it's pretty damn useful. It's going to proc a lot, and you're usually going to be on top of people, especially with your E. It synergizes well with E and pretty much 3 of your abilities, so this is probably the best keystone possible on ALISTAR. As for these other 2, not as useful. So the first rune you want to get is Font of Life. Impairing the movement of the enemy marks them, and then your allies will heal whenever they attack that enemy. So this rune is especially good for laning phase. Not only do you have good sustain, but those small skirmishes they have, the 2v2s and the small fights, will allow them to kind of heal up a lot of damage taken within the small skirmishes, so really good. Second rune you want to take is Conditioning. Unless they have an extremely heavy AD comp, or they have an extremely heavy AP comp, Conditioning is what you really want to take. It's the safest bet, it increases everything by 5%, and at 10 minutes you get a nice boost in your armor and magic resist. Again, if you really want, you can always take Iron Skin for that extra armor. Because it also has a little effect where it heals you every time you have a consumable, like a pot or a cookie, whatever you take, or a biscuit. And the last rune you want to take is Overgrowth. Now this pretty much, just by standing around minions, you will gain a bit of extra health. So make sure you're always around to take minions. Don't actually finish them off, of course, but make sure you're around. Just as long as they die near you, you'll get this. So that's a really good, nice passive stacking health. And with this health, it also stacks the Aftershock, so it's all really good synergy. Really good page for this. And for the second path, I went with the Domination. And Cheap Shot is one of the best ones here, because you do that true damage every time they're impaired movement. And the cooldown's 4 seconds, so you might be able to proc this twice in a small little fight. Usually go in, you proc it once, and then because you're ALISTAR, you're going to be on them with your E, and then you're going to hit the stun, and you may get the second one off, depending on how the fight goes, which is a nice bit of extra damage. And the second one you want to take in Domination is Zombie Ward. If you haven't seen this in game, it's pretty much after you kill a ward, a zombie ward will appear, and it's pretty much like the blue scrying orb. It lasts for 3 minutes, and they can be around the map without worrying about your ward limit, which is pretty good. And it just gives you that extra amount of pressure, extra amount of vision. I guess I could also mention that you can go into this Inspiration as your second path, and you can take Biscuit Delivery and Cosmic Insight. Now with Biscuit Delivery, you pretty much get a biscuit every 3 minutes, so that's about 4 biscuits, which will give you 15% of your health and mana, and also give you 40 mana permanently. So this is really good, especially for lane sustain, and you don't have to spend that extra money on gold. The extra gold on potions and refillables. This kind of covers that. Now some laning phases, you go to lane, you die, or you get a kill, you keep going back and forth, and you'll spend a lot of money on potions, whereas this covers that. And Cosmic Insight, really good too. Remember, summoner spells are pretty important on ALISTAR, so if you can minimize that by 5%, that's very useful. So your flash WQ on ALISTAR is extremely important. You really want to be making those plays, catching out opponents when they're in the river, or maybe they're misplaced, maybe they're on their own. You got to go for those plays, and this kind of helps with that, as well as the item CDR, because ALISTAR gets about 2 to 3 active items, which is pretty useful. Makes this much more valuable than other runes. So there's 2 options, but I did go with Domination for this game, so let's just finish off with that.